I do this, I do this, I do this, I do this, I do this.
Good morning, good afternoon, and even good night, depending on where you are in the world. It's your guy Libs from Let's Talk About It. Today's topic that I want to talk to you about is credit and debt. So I'm titling this video, I lived my dream, now debt is my nightmare. Now, this is not a video to discourage anyone or even encourage anyone to obtain credit. This is a video where I'm just giving you some insight of some things that I experienced and my point of view of how this thing should go, and hopefully it'll help you. For the most part, I would like for you watching this video, first of all, thanks for clicking on the video. I would like for you to take whatever you can take out of this video and keep it, and the rest you can throw it in the trash. Okay? Now, I lived my dream. Now debt is my nightmare. It's sort of like this, right? I always thought and I always knew that, I'm going to try to make this short and sweet, by the way. I always thought and knew that credit is essential. Like, you want to build your credit. You hear people talking about good credit, but I never thought that I would be the type of person to obtain that, because for one, that wasn't a topic in my household growing up. That wasn't a topic in my schools coming up. Nobody taught us about credit. Nobody taught us about the value of having credit and what it could do for you and how much you're going to need it later on in your life, right? So with that being said, I didn't really learn about credit until I got in my 40s. Like, I didn't really concentrate on it, right? I always knew that I was going to need it. Excuse me. And I always knew that it would be valuable to me, you know? But I never thought that I would be the one with credit. So, I guess my journey with credit started with a credit card that I got from a mortgage company. Well, basically, it wasn't a credit card. It was a personal loan. Okay, the personal loan was, as long as you're an employee here, we can give you $1,000 for you to shop for your family for Christmas. And what we're going to do is we're going to take it out of your check. We're going to take a payment out of your check every time you get paid. And we're going to give you $1,000 up front. That was something that I thought was great, because I wanted to do some Christmas shopping and I didn't have a lot of money anyway. So it was great. So I took a $1,000 loan and I was almost finished paying it off, right? Month after month after month, they were taking the payments out of my check, and I was almost finished paying it off. So it was all good. It was working out great. But then towards the end of the term, I left New Jersey and I went to North Carolina. I moved to North Carolina, and now I work for a different company, and I kind of forgot about that they were taking that payment out of my check to cover that loan. So I defaulted on that $1,000 loan, even though I probably owed about like 200, 300 left. I can't really remember, but it wasn't much. So also, before I moved to North Carolina, I got a credit card from Kohl's. I went into Kohl's and I bought some items, and then they asked me if I wanted to apply for a Kohl's card. So I did that, right? And what I did was, without having knowledge of how this thing works, is I just knew that they gave me a card with 300 on it. I maximized the entire 300 while I was there in the store the same day that I applied for the card. And I never paid them not one dime. Now one day, fast forward, I'm trying to get a loan for a car. And guess what comes up? The personal loan, the Christmas money loan, and the Kohl's credit card. So I had to do something about that. I had to take care of that. So I did that, right? And when I did that, I started taking credit a little more serious. I started seeing how, even though I didn't need it at the time because I already used it, but it affects you later. Later, you're going to come crawling back, and we're going to visit you later about this money that you owe. That's how I took it. Like I had to still deal with it, right? And I dealt with it. Fast forward some more. Now I'm thinking about purchasing a home. I didn't even know that I was able to purchase a home, but because I did get that car that I was looking for at the time, I was actually building my credit up from that car, from making a car payment. I also got a piece of furniture, some couches that I had in my living room some years back, and those payments were affecting my credit. So actually, my credit was being built without me really concentrating on that it's being built. I'm just making payments on time. Now I decided to get a house. Didn't ever think that I'd be eligible for a home loan, but I was eligible. I got into the house. It's like one good thing after another start happening to me. A guy who's used to having nothing. That's me. Your guy lives, right? I'm used to having nothing. So I gets into my house, and now I'm being offered refinances. I'm being told that I could take money out of the equity of my home, right? So I refinanced twice. I got money I'm taking out. I'm trying to make this as short and sweet, but I'm taking out personal loans from my credit union now. I'm using my credit to get everything that I want because nobody will tell me no. Nobody's telling me no. Every time I ask for something, everyone says yes, yes. So I'm doing it. Basically, I'm so naive that I'm taking a few $1,000s out of the bank as a loan with no real reason that I need it, just so that I could put it in my checking account and feel great about myself, right? Not considering the fact that, bro, you still got to pay that money back. That's not your money. So these are the types of things that I was doing. So I escaped that nightmare. Paid these things back. And now it's like, it's a cycle. It's a cycle. It's almost like I'm doing it all over again. I consolidated my debts, got one loan, paid off everything, because nobody's going to tell me no. And I appreciate that. But it's like, boom, I'm right back in the same cycle. And I realized something. I realized that as long as you keep on using credit to consolidate your debts that you built up, you're never, ever going to get out of it. Because you're always going to have that payment that you owe from the loan that you borrowed. But I wasn't thinking this way. Poor judgment on my behalf. I wasn't thinking this way. I'm robbing Peter to pay Paul. So now at this current point in my life, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not taking out a personal loan to pay off other loans, even though it could free up money that I'm dishing out every month, because you got to make monthly payments on these lines of credits that you're taking out. You got to pay on them every month. It's not free money. So just to give you an example, you could be paying a total of $1,200 a month if you add up all the payments of the personal loans and debts and things that you use your credit for to be paying it back. You could be paying a total of $1,200. By consolidating that, by taking out a loan to just pay all of those back, it could minimize that $1,200 payment to about $500 or $600, right? And then that makes you happy. That makes you happy because now you're only kicking out $500 or $600 a month as opposed to $1,200 a month. But here's the thing: if your total amount of debt, I'm just throwing numbers out there, if your total amount of debt was $15,000, yeah, you chop down your monthly payments from $900 to $500 or $600, but you still owe $15,000. So you're not out of debt. You just lightened your load of your monthly payments. And that's when I start getting a little bit more intelligent and a little more wiser. So now I'm in debt right now, by the way. This is not a squeaky clean person talking to you, trying to, showboat or act like I'm smarter than everyone, or, I'm not trying to point the finger at you. I'm going through this right now. But here's the difference. The difference is I'm not going to take out a loan to pay all these people back that I owe. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grind. I'm going to work harder. Okay. And I'm going to knock off one bill at a time, one payment at a time, one debt at a time. I'm going to pay. And when I'm at the end of my journey, I'm going to be in the clear. I'm not going to owe no one anything. And that gives me an opportunity to decide what I want to do. It gives me an opportunity to decide if I want to pull out another line of credit or use my credit for something or don't do anything. It's just going to feel real good knowing that I don't owe anyone, because after a while, interest rates, high interest rates, it puts you deeper and deeper and deeper in debt. It's almost like once you start this journey, there's no turning back. You're not going to get out of it. You know what I mean? So this is my advice to you is get out of debt on your own. Do not consolidate your debts. Before you even get into debt, think about, do you really need this help? Because people will offer you help from every angle. And if you say yes and you take that help, you're going to owe everyone. And if you don't make enough money on your job to be able to make all those payments, then you're going to be exhausted and overwhelmed, and it can be a cause of stress for you. I find myself right now working a bunch of overtime on my job because what I'm planning on doing is I'm planning on doing this myself. I'm going to knock these debts out myself. I'm going to fight back myself without any help from the financial institutions, because they're not really helping me because they care about me. They're helping me because they're helping themselves. They're winning. They're getting money off of my interest that I'm paying them. I'm losing in the back end because I'm paying them more money than what they gave me. So what I decided to do is I decided to not use my credit at all, only for large purchases. I'm not going to pull out my credit card to go buy a sandwich. I'm not going to pull out my credit card to fill up my gas tank or to buy a pair of shoes or some clothing. I'm only using my credit for large purchases. Purchases like this. If I have to pay $10,000 to get something fixed on my house, and I know I don't have $10,000 in the bank, in my checking account or my savings account, then I'll use my credit for that, because that's a large purchase that will allow me to make monthly payments to pay it off. I'm not going to use my credit for any other reason except for a really large purchase. That's the only value that I see in credit. Other than that, I feel like money is better than credit, because they don't even give you credit unless you have good credit already. And in order for you to have good credit, you need to have money. Because what is credit? Credit is the ability to make payments over a period of time. So there's no need for you to use your credit and pull this from over there and pull that from over there if you don't make enough money to make those monthly payments. You're going to have bad credit and you're going to be disappointed in your journey. Okay? So right now, I'm living in a nightmare. Okay? I lived my dream only to realize that my reality is a nightmare. That's what I'm going through right now. But I'm not afraid, and I'm more knowledgeable right now. And, credit was my dream. And I did a lot of things. The chain that you see me wearing when I wear my chain, I got that from credit. The Jesus piece, I got that from credit. A lot of things This car that I'm sitting on came from credit. The house came from credit. Most of the things that I have came from credit. I lived, credit was my dream. Now, debt is my nightmare because all of these things has to be paid back. So don't jump out the water. Don't try to be like the Joneses, you know, and don't live above your means. Stay within your means. Don't borrow more money than you have the ability to pay back, is what I'm trying to tell you. Because if you don't listen to me, then debt will become your nightmare. And on another note, just let me explain to you this. Don't take this video as it's not a good thing to get credit. It is. Credit works wonders for people that know how to use it. And I'm growing slowly. My knowledge is growing slowly, and I'm going to become better and better and better at it. And I'm going to borrow a couple $1,000,000 from these people, and I'm going to live the life that I want to live. Lord willing, if I could figure out how to do that, I'm not going to use my money at all. I'm going to use other people's money. And I tell you what, when I die, you can't get the money from me. So I'm going to figure it all out. But right now, it's a nightmare. Right now, I'm trying to get the monkey off my back. Right now, I don't want to owe anyone. And right now, I'm looking at money as being better than credit. If you got the money, spend the money. Because after you spend the money, you're not going to owe anyone for interest. You know what I'm saying? But if you're smart and you know how to use your money, then credit will become a great tool for you. And let me tell you something else. There's people out there that if you tell them how much you're in debt, they might think they're better than you. They might say, well, I don't have any debt. I don't have any debt. I'm not going through what you're going through. Let me tell you something, right? When you meet a person who has no bills, like you might be struggling and working hard, trying to take care of your bills, grinding it out, pounding on those bills, you know what I'm saying? And you might meet a person who might look at themselves high and mighty because they're not in your shoes. But I'm gonna tell you one thing. If you ain't got no bills and if you don't have any debt, it's two things that I look at. It's either you got a lot of money and you don't need or have any bills because you pay things off. You pay it outright. You got a lot of money, or you ain't got much at all. You don't have little to nothing. You don't have a house. You don't have a car. Because when you want something and you don't have a lot of money, that's how the debt start building. So if you ain't got no debt, you either got a lot of money or you ain't got nothing. Go ahead and hit that like, subscribe to the channel. It's your guy Libs. I just wanted to give you all a little bit of insight and a little story time of how credit was my dream. Now debt is my nightmare. Peace.